Yeah, what's up, y'all? First topic I want to tackle is locks because it's definitely spiritual. Like everybody have a story about their lock journey and everything like that, and people get into it for a lot of different reasons. For me, it was definitely about finding myself, and it was about finding myself in a lot of different ways. Um, it's kind of hard to look in the mirror and realize that you don't even recognize yourself. That the image that you're seeing, it don't match how you feel. It don't match up to like what you feel about yourself at all. And then that's tied into so many things. Actually, the start of my lock journey, uh, whew, man, I would say the week that I got my hair locked, my life changed. Which might sound kind of dramatic, but it's not at all. Like my life literally changed the week I got my hair locked, and it's never been the same since then. And that's a journey that I wanted to take years ago. I mean, I wanted to get my hair locked years and years and years before, and I always put it off because I was worried about perception. I was worried about my job, what they would think, how that would affect, the money I could make, and all of that kind of stuff. And it had nothing to do with the reasons why I wanted to get into it in the first place. So I am able to share that. Um, Again, I just was looking in the mirror and I didn't, not only did I not recognize what I was looking at, but I didn't like what I was looking at. It didn't fit me. And I think for the people that have known me for years, like the hair is just a part of me. It's always been there. You can look back at like elementary, middle school, high school. At some point in all of those different phases, I had a point of hair growth, and oddly enough for me, that's always been a part of my growth and maturity. This time, it's been on an exponential kind of level, and I've never. I can't really say how much it's tied into in like the previous journeys I've been through, but this one was definitely intentional. And man, I've been through like a lot of like prayer and just personal devotion and meditation to try to find some kind of comfort and just appreciating myself and who I am. And the hair has always been a part of that. So I was actually proud of myself for sticking to it because I've let my hair grow a few times and got close enough and been like, nah, I'm gonna cut it. I cut it, a couple of months into it, I got a little bit of hair growth. And, of course, we all, in some vain state, we all worry about the little worms. Where it's so little, it's just ugly. You don't want to go through that ugly growth phase where, you look like you got worms crawling across your hair. But, so I did let my hair grow out a little bit. I had like a little fro. I had a decent fro before I decided to actually get it locked. But once I did, like, just make up in my mind that it was something I wanted to do, I never looked back. And I don't have a goal in terms of growth to like, I want it to be this length. I want it to stay there, or this is where I cut it. Actually, as far as cutting it, if I do cut it, that'll probably be another story because that's a part of, let's just say, one of the prayers that I had. If I actually do decide to cut it, it'll be another story to that. But um, the growth is definitely spiritual, and spiritually, that's one of the things that I really don't talk to people a whole lot about because I don't expect people to understand. And even for those that do understand, it's only to a certain degree because personal growth is something that you can't necessarily like. I can't make you feel what I feel. I can't get you to understand what I understand about life. But let's just go biblically and say, if you know about the story of Samson, and just the fact that the strength and the power was in the hair, it's all there. There's something about these antennas attached to you. There's something about when I just allow myself to be free and let it grow that changed so many things about myself and my life. And in my growth, I'm understanding manifestation in a way that I've never understood it before. It's been certain things that have, I guess I would like look at it as a freak occurrence or something I couldn't necessarily explain. And now I understand that I was manifesting all kind of things. You never understand the power of your thoughts and how your thoughts become things. And it's like a real process from what you think to, the reality around you. So it's powerful, that kind of thing I've struggled with, because I've even had to look at myself in the mirror and say, even for some of the, like, I guess negative situations, or at least that's the way I looked at it, some of the negative situations that I've been through in my life, it all started in my head. It all started in my mind. It all began with a single thought, and it just took off from there. So me recognizing the power that I have within myself and over my life, that's something I've had to wrestle with. I've also had to wrestle with the fact that I'm responsible for a lot of the things that have happened, especially in my adult life. You can't attribute a lot of those things in your childhood to yourself, because how much power do you have when you're still in, like, those are like major growth and developmental years that other people have so much power over you during those times. In my adult years, I realized that so much of what I've been through all started with a thought, and it's mind-blowing to me. It might not be amazing to other people, but for me, that was like a starting point on my journey. And I do take a certain sense of pride in just letting my hair be what it is. Like I'm not so worried about like how long it grows, how long it takes, how people view me, the perspective. When I walk into a room, I have noticed I've walked into other rooms where the last time they saw me, I didn't look like this. And I could tell the difference. It scares some people. Me being a black man, of course, there's nothing I can do to hide this. This melanin, this pigmentation is here. It's here to stay. And then I have a certain demeanor about myself that people don't really know how to take as well. You add on top of that the hair, and it's just a recipe for Godzilla or something, that people are terrified of just the sight of me in some of the rooms I walk in, which can actually be kind of empowering. I kind of like that sometimes, that, I know I can smell it. I can smell the fear on some people when I walk in the room, simply because they don't know how to take me, because all they have are maybe past experiences, maybe is imagery that they've grown up with, but whatever the case may be, it just strikes fear and it hurts to certain people that don't have enough experiences with black people to, let the guard down a little bit and just let people be who they are. And even I went through the struggle of, I have, like, I'm real laid back most of the time, and people take that as like this self-confidence that I had to grow into. It really wasn't there when I was younger. I've had a lot of insecurities about myself that I just had to grow through and recognize and identify and like just deal with it for what it is. Okay, so this is the problem you're having. You got to work through that, because you're only getting older, and at a certain point in life, you can't be holding on to these insecurities. It's only gonna hold you back from where you're trying to go. So I really do take pride in just being who I am. And a part of that is not conforming to societal views and all of the things that we've been taught. You got to be clean cut. You got to walk into a room and look like this and dress like this and talk like this and act like this. And by the end of that, like, you lose yourself and all of that. Who are you? At the end of that, conformity is disgusting to me. It's one of those things that I've always struggled with because I've never been the kind of person that could conform. I've actually tried to be like everybody else, where it's weird that one of the parts of my journey is actually going back to who I used to be. And there's like this middle section of my life where I was somebody that I don't recognize. And outside of that, I've been somebody that I actually kind of admire at this point. And so I've really just been trying to get back to that. And the hair is just a part of that. So there are other reasons why the hair is growing. And like I said, if I just so happen to come to a point where I decide to cut it, that'll be another conversation. But for now, I would say just understand that it's just a part of the journey. It's just self-discovery. And it's also about self-appreciation. That I actually have tried to do the dance and be a part of society in the way that others wanted me to be, and it just didn't work for me. And it actually never has. So I actually have been living out a part of my life in a mask or a disguise or a costume or however you want to look at it. And yes, I understand that I don't necessarily need the hair for that to be a part of my psyche, ingrained into, the way that I think and, walk this life. But there's something about it that has really shaped me, and I appreciate it so much more. I am actually, it's August now. I'm about 2 years and 4 months into this process. So, man, I'm actually excited about where it's headed. Even through all of the turmoil and all the things that I've been through, I've been able to grow in ways that I don't think I actually would have if I didn't make up my mind and be more decisive about the things that I wanted to do. So I'm actually appreciative about the fact that I was able to just get over a fear. Actually, it was a fear that I was walking around with. And that's because of some of the things that I had to unlearn, some of the things that have been beat into me through societal views, through the training in school, through some of the things that I've learned in my household, where, look, this is how you gotta be if you wanna be successful. This is what you gotta do, and you gotta play the game. And for anybody that knows me, I've never been able to play the game. Never. I don't have the white voice. I don't have the white voice. As far as my vocabulary goes, like, that's another thing. But the way it comes out, like, some people just don't understand me. It doesn't matter how hard I try to, like, slow it down, because I talk, like, look, naturally I talk a lot faster when I'm just in the flow of things. It can be kind of hard for people to understand what it is I'm saying. And that's even for some of the people that have grown up with me. I really don't know what that is. It could be a mixture of the tone. It could be a mixture of, I'm much more based in treble. It's been kind of frustrating for me that, man, everywhere I go, I hate to order food through, like, the speaker, pull up through a drive-through, because I always have to repeat myself. I don't care what it is I'm ordering. It's always somebody like, what? What did you say? Like, I can't understand you. I gotta repeat it. I gotta speak louder. I gotta speak slower. I gotta enunciate. I go through the whole song and dance just to order a number 5, which, man, you wouldn't believe. Just the frustration I live with some of the most simple things that people do on an everyday basis. Not that I really go through fast food drive-thrus on an everyday basis, because I don't eat a whole lot of fast food. But it's just one of the frustrations that I run across in life. So I have that I've been contending with, and I'm really, again, I just have to say I'm really proud of myself for making it to this point, because I battle not only the struggles of life and all of the different changes that have taken place, but also the things that happen internally, and that can be feelings, it can be thoughts, emotions, all of those things that can be kind of debilitating to me at times, where it can actually kind of stop me in my tracks. So I've had to go to therapy just to work through certain things, and I talk about getting to the source. I realize that there's a reason why I operate in a certain manner. I realize that there's a certain way why I think the way I think, that all of the past experiences kind of shape my views and my actions and everything else up to this point. And so I've had to, all right, time out. Yeah, I think it's hilarious that no matter how much good I try to do, evil is always present. So all of a sudden I'm having problems with the audio and the video at the same time. I'm looking at anyway. So I guess that means wrap it up. So yeah, I have been talking. It's funny, like when I get interested, I can talk for a really long time and not even notice how long I've been going. But I'm not sure where I left off. I guess at this point it don't even matter. But it's been about finding myself and actually being happy with what I'm looking at in the mirror. So with that being said, it also brought me to my uncle, who kind of challenged me, and talking about some other people around me and saying that, what's the use of you having all that knowledge if you're not going to share it with other people? And then another one of my uncles that challenged me and saying that I need to redefine what I look at as a peer. I was telling him that, you know, a lot of my peers just happen to be on a different level. It's things that we can't really relate on. I start talking and they kind of just check out, which I'm used to because I talk about different things than most other people. So that's another thing that's just been a part of my life. But at this point, I realized that I gotta just march forward. I can't worry about like who not along for the ride or who fall off somewhere in the middle. That's not even important. If I'm staying true to myself, then I understand I have a certain responsibility about myself and the way I carry myself, the things that I do. And that means that I have to abandon some of the bullshit that I've been comfortable with. Some of the things that make me feel good on a superficial level, but they do nothing for me spiritually. They do nothing for my growth. They do nothing for this walk in life. So that's a part of me challenging myself to constantly grow and change. And I know that the scene around me will change as well. So I'm not really sure if you can like naturally curate an audience, if you have to find your audience, or if you define your audience. But either way, you know, still I rise. You know, I'm gonna push forward, and that means that the content has to change as well. So I'm not being so hard on myself about my growth now. I'm more than satisfied with the fact that I actually did it. That's a step in the right direction because and I guess life had to sit me down a little bit for me to even get to this point where it was almost nothing else to do but what I actually wanted to do. And I had to learn. I've been learning all through this process because I'm worried about technical aspects. Like I'm not happy with the visuals on certain things, and then I've been like extremely frustrated with the audio, but we balling on the budget right now. So I just got to take it for what it is and make all the adjustments I can and keep moving forward. Again, I can't rush myself. I can't be frustrated about the process. I just got to go with it, and I got to trust that. So I'll be here until I'm not. But I love y'all, every single one of y'all, and I appreciate y'all for the time that y'all take out, because I guess you never know what's coming for me, and I even like that about myself. So it will continue. And have a good day, good night, whenever you're watching this, whoever's watching this. Love yourself.